Hello, friends. Let me sit down. I always have to stand up to, I think this camera is too low. Hang on a second. Oops. I'm okay. That was just a cord. I hope you've been well. The last time that I was on, I was going to Portugal. Now I'm back. If you're new to my channel, this is kind of what I love doing, kind of painting and chatting from the studio, art supplies, sketchbooks, finishing up paintings in different ways. What else do we like to do? Talk. I love getting your comments, having conversation in the comments afterwards, inspiring each other, and hopefully having fun. So before I get too far into this, what I wanted to do today, I don't know if you've seen that Betty Franks, I don't know if you know Betty Franks, but she's amazing. This is her Instagram. It's going to show some of her gorgeous abstract paintings. So Betty and I are doing a co-workshop this Saturday in 2 days, live, online. So it's like the first time I've done that, and it's going to be really fun. So I'm going to paint. I'm going to work on, actually, right here, one of my gardenscapes. This is the one I'm going to kind of use as what we're going to create with the different layers and details. And so I'm going to paint for an hour while she, looks at people's questions. And then we're going to flip, and she's going to paint, one of her abstracts. And if you're not familiar with her work, just go to Betty Franks Art. It's gorgeous. And what's fun about this collaboration is that both of us, are like, I guess, late 50s. And we both had careers before and started our art businesses later in life, like those sort of late bloomers. And so we just have a lot in common in that way. And so here's our little ad. So I will put the link to sign up. It's $35, which really is, we wanted to make it really accessible and reasonable. And if you are in a time zone, because I've gotten questions about this, that it's like 4 a.m. in Australia. I have a lot of you Aussies that follow me, and I recognize I wouldn't get up at 4 a.m. So, but when you sign up, you get the recording for a lifetime. So whether you're there or not, you'll have this workshop with the both of us, to watch at your leisure as many times as you want until you're just sick of us. But anyway, hope you can join us. I will put the link to sign up in the description below. If for some reason you can't find it, feel free to email me at art@SuzanneAllard.com, or just put it in the comments below this video. If you're watching this after June 22nd, which is what most of you are going to do, and you're interested, just look at the classes on my website. The recording will be available for sale there. Okay, just wanted to share that because it's going to be so fun. All right, so this is my, I forgot the name of this sketchbook. I learned about this. This is Fabriano from Helen Wells, and she has a YouTube channel as well. Fantastic. And I like this book. I don't know, I like this part. I even like this because, all of the stacks of sketchbooks I get, this one's always like, look at me, I'm different. And the size is nice. The paper is a mixed media paper. It's kind of watercolory, but it's also not overly thick. It's been handling, gobs of paint, you can see. And I had some of these in different levels of not finished, and I thought we could chat and maybe, those are backgrounds. That one hurts my eyes. I'm gonna have to cover the majority of that. I was playing with, I love playing with different background colors. All right, so let's see what I do, when I work in these in sketchbooks and create something is then, the next time I go through, I'll say, oh, now I have some ideas on what to do on this. And I just like to go work until I really like everything in the sketchbook, which it doesn't start out that way. But like, this is a big collage because I can't remember why I did that, but the tree is way too big. But I really like this one. So I would say this is done. But that's kind of what I do is go through when I have a few minutes and say, this needs something. A bit of collage right there. Like this one I had painted and, then I came back through and did these leaves in gouache, and then I did some of this in Neocolor and paint pen. By the way, just so you know what these things are, these Neocolor crayons are the Neocolor 2s are a water-soluble crayon. So they're great for things like this accent here. This is also crayon. There's the turquoise crayon. I'm going to use them on this spread. And then the Neocolor ones are the wax resist ones. So there's water kind of watercolor crayons and water resistant ones, waxy. And this could use some things too. All right, well, so that's kind of what I do. Decide, and here I came through and, was this colored pencil? I think it might have been. Just playing with that. And also with leaving some white, which I really liked. I really like this spread. All right, that's the beginning of another. I think I'm gonna sneeze. Hang on. Oh, maybe I scared it away. So for this one, I like it. I'm just kind of stepping back, but I still feel like it needs a little, but I'm not gonna try not to overdo it. I use this one a lot. This is the metallic gold. And it's not that it reads as gold necessarily, but it just has like a nice sort of olivey green color. So maybe I'll just, kind of do some things here just to bring these out a little bit, add a little more texture. Anyway, Lisbon, Portugal was great. We went to Braga, which is a lesser known, but good sized town in Portugal. That was our favorite. We went to Porto. I will say I would skip Porto. It's gotten so touristy. It just wasn't our thing. Lisbon was fun. All right, let's see what else I want to do here. I did these thicker outlines that, just for something different, because it's a sketchbook. You're supposed to play and experiment, but they're too, for me. They're just too chunky, and so actually this might work to soften them. So you can see this is the gold again. It has a little bit of a shimmer, but most people it's not really, they're really not going to notice, but maybe I can soften these. I could also take paint, and that's what I love about the Neocolors is, let's say I decided, I don't like that way of softening it. I want to paint. You just paint over them. So yeah, you get to try something and then you get a redo. And if you want to remove it completely, you just get a wet paintbrush and wet them and remove them, since they're water soluble. I have links to the Neocolors if you're interested on my website under supplies, with just about everything else that I use. So I'm trying to figure out what to do. I'll try this. No, that didn't really do much. I'm sort of stepping back. I'm really trying on this one to challenge myself with limiting the color palette and not turn it into every color under the rainbow, as sometimes I do, as you know. So I'm just trying not to grab my opera or fluorescent pink and just saying, okay, Suzanne, you can hold back a little bit and just experiment. This is nice, bringing these out a little bit. It's just what color is this? Chinese green. I love that one. I did add this little pink with these Karen markers. Have you seen these? I'll get these. It's a new toy. I probably need to do a separate video on those, but I always say that and then I, never get the time. So they feel like a watercolor marker, but they are permanent. So let me just take out a page on one of these. And these are some exercises I was doing, playing with doing a colorful perfume bottle. So see how it's like a watercolor brush marker, but then, not immediately, but they will dry permanently. And they blend well. They are pricey though, holy cow. I got them on Amazon, and I'm playing with them. I'm deciding if they're worth it. I mean, they're really fun, but you have to evaluate that against the price and how much are you going to use them, that sort of thing. But what I liked was the idea that you could, say, have in your purse, you're going to the, doctor's office, you could just have your sketchbook and 5 or 6 of these and create, anywhere really, really easily. So it was just, I don't know. So I kind of would like a super easy when I don't want to take paints and everything else, but I also don't want to just have a pencil or a pen. And I do have Tombow watercolor brush pens, but I like that these were permanent. So anyway, that's a quick demo on Karen. I have not put a link to those yet on my site, but I can put them in the description below. But so I was playing with them here because, like I said, I wanted to, and that's what gave this effect. So I think I used a lighter pink, and then let's just see if we darken some of these. So they're an acrylic pen that looks like a watercolor pen. It doesn't look like the Poscas that I normally use, look like acrylic. And these blend and even spread a little bit. So I did a bit there. And then I did these lines in them. Let's see what happens if I use one to kind of soften some of that dark gray. You're probably saying, I like the dark gray, leave it alone. I know. Let's see. Pale orange. It's just curious. Yeah, it probably doesn't. It's going to just move it a little toward green. But that might be fun on some of them. So it's got this transparent feel to it, whereas the Posca could be covering it, the paint pens. Let's see what else. feel like I need some, I want something in the center of these that's got more of a pop. I think I am going to get the Poscas because that will be have much more of a punch. If you don't know what Posca paint markers are, they are, this is turning into like a paint marker review. You never know what's going to happen when I turn on the camera and start talking to you guys. It's funny. These are opaque. You always want to do a little bit on something. Oh, I said I wasn't going to reach for a bright pink, but okay. Just a little, all right? Let's just pretend I didn't say that. And it's not a lot, and it's not fluorescent. See how I can justify? I'm just adding a bit of pink because the eye was going here after I did that, you know, and then kind of going, and so I need something more to bring it out here. There's some rationale for you. No, truly, it did. It brought you here, and then you kind of went, ooh, that's pretty or interesting, and then stayed there. So I'm just going to do a little bit of something to make sure the eye travels around. So do you know that I've never been to a live art retreat? You know, like where you go and people ask me to do one, and I definitely want to. Wouldn't that be so much fun? So someday I will. I'm going to figure it out, put it together somehow, someday, somewhere. Anyway, so I've been exploring different art retreats and some of my favorite artists, and it happens to be so far like in a country that, or at a time that I can't do it, or a country that I'm not, they seem to be overseas for the most part, meaning in Europe or Morocco, a lot of art retreats in Morocco, and I'd love to go to Morocco. Anyway, I'm kind of want to dip my toe into that water. So if you know of any really good ones or ones that you've heard of, I think I'm going to go locally here, about 2 hours away. There's a place called Shenandoah Art Destination, and it sounds like there's I think he could be Danish or maybe from the Netherlands, an artist that he kind of just gives you instruction and you work on your projects. And see, now I'm going to interrupt myself. This thing that I just did with the Posca, what I love also about, you know, acrylics and Poscas, like if the next time I flip through here, I say I do not like that on there, you know, then I take it off. Or even while it's wet, I can smudge it. Yeah, I think that's better. I think it was too calling attention to itself, but now I need this somewhere else. So anyway, I think I might try that at the end of July, this Shenandoah art retreat, and kind of test out how that whole experience is before I, you know, do one of the big overseas, more expensive ones. So let me know if you've had art retreats that you really liked. Carolyn Gavin is one of my favorite artists, and she has one in Mexico this year, but it's while we're going to be in Michigan, so the dates didn't work. All right, I think I'm not going to play with that one anymore and let it dry and stand back. But this one is not even, this one needs more things and stuff. Same with this one. Not more things necessarily, but some unification. And this one, I love the colors, but it is making my eyes hurt, so it definitely needs to be toned down and some some things pushed back and some elements brought out and more added. Ooh, that's deep. I have that reaction every time I turn to that page. Oh my gosh. Let's see. I'll do a little bit of a sketchbook walkthrough and then I'll close out because I gotta do some things to get ready for this workshop. Even though it's Saturday, I want to do a little bit more strategizing. Okay, so I think we already went through this one, didn't we? Did I keep going? These are beginnings. Yeah, okay. These are like beginnings where I'd taken ink and a fan brush. Another artist, Onmar Wynn, does this, and then she illustrates on top of it, but I've just been playing with it for a background of whatever, and sometimes I just like them the way they are. This sketchbook, I don't know if we've done a walkthrough on this one in a while. Well, I can do it again real quick. Started out, so I'm kind of start out in a sketchbook with the idea of this one's going to be fill in the blank, florals or abstract or landscapes, and then I end up changing. So this one started out as florals, and then when you grab your sketchbook, don't look at it. You can paint up, or you get like you just grab it and start painting. You sometimes paint upside down. And then after these florals, what did I do? Okay, this is part of a class actually, a one color bouquet. This was in Michigan. We went to an art fair, and there was just a little bouquet on a table. And so then when we went to the beach, I brought paints, and I had taken a picture of the bouquet, and I just painted. I took pictures from different angles of the same bouquet, and then that was this exercise, is just to kind of capture it from two different angles. Here's another just kind of big loose. This was playing with some elements for a pattern design, and in gouache, same here. I love the opacity of gouache. I don't know if you know, but gouache was, the original paint used like by William Morris and in pattern design, and it's so flat and delicious and easy to work with. That's gouache too. This is an unfinished, but I don't really want to do much to it. Maybe I'll put a pattern on the vase. This was playing with pattern as well. This is quite old, just like a big brush stroke type exercise. Same here. This was from an element from a class where we did limited color palettes. I love purple coneflowers, and then I love taking sometimes just a little vase and really big flowers. This is also from a class, my Mexican Otomi class, which is a Mexican embroidery that's just so inspiring and gorgeous. And this is, I think, going to become a pattern, or maybe already is, for licensing. Can't remember. And I got into patterns, so you can see that this book started to be, although it does kind of have a floral theme, some of it. This also, I think, got licensed. And then this, I just didn't want to, I don't like it. I don't like how, first of all, this back here is just way too bright, and it's competing. Everything's competing with everything, basically. So, maybe at some point I'll have the, I'll be interested in going back and doing some things to it, but I haven't been. This I really had fun with. It's a mixture of ink, watered down gouache, some watercolor for bleed, then some acrylic gouache, some Neocolor crayons. What else is in here? Just playing with color, pattern, shape, elements. And this was sort of the scattered flowers with gouache. Then I did this, I think, one night when, I see right now what I want to do here. When we were watching TV, my husband and I like to paint And yeah, I played with the background color. I still don't really like it. You would be, I don't know if you do this, but sometimes I will repaint a background like 3 times because I'll be like, that's not really doing it. And I'm not sure about this color. This was fun. I really had fun saying, why can't a big old pot be over there on what looks like a hill? Who cares? So I had fun with that, and then I'm going to do the same thing here, and that was the end of that sketchbook. All right, my friends. Well, I really hope you can make it to the workshop. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And but if not, the recording will be available. And let me know in the comments what kind of videos you'd like to see. I have a list of things, and I have so many art supplies I've bought in the last 2 months that it's almost overwhelming in terms of like, you know, how would I do a video about them? But maybe I'll just do like a lot of people do, like an art haul video. Like sketchbooks, I've just been, as if I needed more, buying more and more just to test them out. Like this is Lita Art Supply, and I love, even though it's thin, I love gessoing the paper in this and painting on it. Oh, this is a good one to show you. So that's what I did on this. I gessoed with clear gesso and then used those markers. Look how cool this is. The marker, the Karen markers that I was telling you about, that I showed you, picked up the bits of texture from the gesso. I mean, look at that. I mean, I'm going to have to just do the video on this. That is so cool. It's not as vibrant as a lot of my work, but there's something really interesting about that. So yeah, even if I just do, you know, maybe I'll just do like a review of the sketchbooks themselves and what I like about each one. Anyway, all right, have a wonderful weekend. Check out my other videos. I never market myself enough, or never tell you. Oh, I just feel like we all get marketed to death, but I do have a lot of online classes. And anyway, and an email newsletter where I send out articles. Usually, sometimes they're about things that like this workshop, but a lot of times they're just insights and articles I've written about the creative process. So anyway, keep creating. It's good for your soul, and that is good for the world, right? And we need it, and the world needs it. All right, dears. Bye-bye.